2 News.
He maliciously destructed a property, drove on the grass, and then drove over the parking lot and then took off speeding. There's camera footage of when he drove on the grass and then that he accelerated a little over 40 miles per hour down the street. So I'm letting Muhammad know that there's going to be a zero tolerance for this in the city of Dearborn Heights. Today, Muhammad is going to get a reckless driving ticket, and we're going to be totaling his Range Rover.
Oh, my God.
That's the mayor of Dearborn Heights taking a hard line on reckless driving, impounding a teen's vehicle after what he calls dangerous driving in the city. Now the video is spreading across social media, with some praising the move as a tough message on reckless behavior, while others question whether the mayor went too far. Joining us now is attorney Todd Flood. We lean on him often to give us some perspective on cases that he's not necessarily involved with. In fact, you're not involved with this case, but just to kind of shed some light on what is the law when it comes to this. You saw the video.
Right.
First of all, let's kind of look at what this teen is accused of doing. How often are we seeing those types of cases in general?
Well, reckless driving is a misdemeanor. It's a 93-day misdemeanor. It happens often. It's not remarkable that it doesn't happen. It does happen. This could be careless driving, to say the least. But what the mayor did here was really overstep, because the reckless driving statute, 1, doesn't contemplate seizing the vehicle. So it's a misdemeanor. It's criminal. He took a civil action and what we call in rem and kind of forfeited the car. And the innocent owner is the father.
Well, that's the interesting part, and perhaps the father who's watching this, if you're watching, I don't think you find it interesting. I think you find it quite grating and perhaps irritating.
Sure.
The fact that you don't have that car, at least you didn't right away. This is not the teen's car. This is not the teen's property. This is the father's property.
Right.
But is a father or a mother responsible if the teen does something in property that the parent owns?
Parent could be if they negligently entrust the teen. If you give your child the keys to the car and they don't have a license, all right, you're going to be held liable for that if that child does something wrong. Here, this is an innocent owner exception, and the father could be, has that defense. This mayor, he's not the police. He's not the prosecutor. The prosecutor should review the file. I was in the forfeiture section. That should be the first step. And this is just more of, he, was right around the block from his house. He kind of took it personally. So the fact of the matter is this: there's remedies for this. A prosecutor should have reviewed this file, then put a seizure notice to the family. The fact, if I was the constructive owner, you gave your child the car, you put it in your name, but he takes it to college, he takes it everywhere. That child then could be what is called a constructive owner. And then it's possible to seize the car from the child, right? Because he's the one, and that's gone all the way up to the United States Supreme Court, because that's the person driving the car, and it's the constructive owner, even though he doesn't have a title.
But the owner, the person who owns the title in this case, is the father, not the teen who is alleged to have committed this.
Right, and the teen's just using the car. Didn't sound like he's the one that always drives it. This is a sad case. The mayor wants to send a message. I think he did it improperly, legally. He's out there, he's trying to do something, but he didn't get good advice. Is
this the first time you've seen a mayor locally here in Metro Detroit kind of try to execute the law himself?
Yes. I mean, he's not a king, right? Yes, the mayor, that's why we have a prosecutor. That's why we have the police department. Where does the mayor come in? Would Mayor Duggan or Sheffield go and say, hey, listen, I want to go to that person's house and take that person's goods? No, that just doesn't happen. Well, that's why we have checks and balances. So, yes, the first time I've ever seen a mayor come and seize something and direct the police to do that.
And we've seen, obviously, on the national level, people highly critical of this administration for sometimes, as they're accused of doing, overstepping, the executive branch by saying I'm putting pressure on the FCC to do this or do this.
Right.
In this case, you're looking at this kind of unfolding, seemingly so locally. At the local level.
It's this trickle-down effect almost, right? So where does he get the power, the authority under the law? He doesn't have that. This is, a civil rights claim. Actually, it could be a 1983 civil rights claim, because the mayor doesn't have that authority to do what he just did. And here, I think the father has a good case.
Well, we have branches of government at the federal level that we're always talking about on the Pulse and, of course, on the news. And we have locally, obviously, your different sections of government. They're supposed to be operating accordingly. Todd Flood with Flood Law. It's great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for your perspective.
Thanks for having me, Rich.
Rich, over to you.